Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany Benson, one part of Team Benson, and something horribly devastating happened last night. So, I'll show you guys what it is. So if you guys watch my channel regularly, you know that there's one thing I was looking forward to this entire year. Just one thing that made all of 2020 better and just made me cope with life. And now that's gone. Alright guys, so here it is. I came out to water this morning and all of my pumpkin plants are gone. I have no clue what ate them, but not only did they eat the pumpkin plants, they also ate one of the lettuce leaf basils, which it seems like they didn't really like because they bit the tops off of it, but then didn't eat the rest of it, and then actually didn't touch these two. And they also ate my acorn squash, which seemed to be yummy because they ate all of that. And then they also bit the top off of one of my Armenian cucumber plants, the biggest one. So not gonna lie, this was pretty devastating. I kind of legit wanted to come out and cry once I saw that, guys. Why would something eat my pumpkin plant? That was the only thing in my garden that was keeping me from losing my mind when it comes to gardening in 115 degrees. That was the one thing. But you know what? One of the things that you have to understand when you're gardening in the desert is that you have a little oasis of water and greatness and food. So there's going to be a lot of things that are not just your typical pest, but I mean desert rats or animals, just full-on animals, rodents, different things like that. They're going to want to come and test out things in your garden just because you have a little oasis in a place that's pretty much a desolate wasteland. So one of the things that I'm going to do to kind of combat that and to kind of make it better is I am going to redo my growing space inside my house. Now, for those of you guys that know, I have always had a small space in my house where I grew things, so I didn't let things get really big before transplanting them outside. Typically it's fine and things are okay, but the more that there's building up around us and the more that we're in drought right now because it hasn't rained here since April, the more bigger predators are starting to come into my garden. So I don't know if it's a bunny or I don't know if it's a desert rat, but I know it's something big because it ate the entire plant. So since I have organic gardening practices and I don't want to put up traps or anything like that, I'm gonna try and make sure the plants are bigger before putting them out. Now, when you can make sure your plants are not very, very small and vulnerable, that typically helps with, if you're transplanting plants coming outside. And guys, I'm really, really devastated. Really, really devastated. I'm more so devastated because I had to have them planted by June 15th in order to have pumpkins by Halloween. And now we're into July, and that means I'm probably not going to have pumpkins by Halloween. So this really devastates me. But we're going to try and make a negative into a positive. I have been meaning to put more growing space in my house so where I can be able to grow things to where they're a lot bigger. So that just means that, you know what? It's time to do it. It's a sad time to find out that it's time to do it, but it's time to do it. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to start some of them in my Jiffy pea pots, my larger ones, but then I'm also going to start my squash plants in these. I use these typically during the fall when I'm starting my fall crops because it gets so hot and you don't really know how the temperature is going to be, and so I want to transplant I want to wait before transplanting my fall crops because things will eat your fall crops if you put them out too early, or they'll get sunburned, or they'll just wilt, or just bad things will happen to them. So that's typically what I use these for. But I'm gonna use these for my squash and my Armenian cucumbers. Now with these are just little bigger pots. I'm going to use this, which is my Jiffy Seed Start Mix. Now I've done a video before in the past, guys, on how to create and how to start seeds, but basically I'm going to put this in some hot water just because I want to make sure that there's no fungus nets in it, and no fungus net eggs in it too as well. So I'm going to put this in some hot water and let it soak up, and then put the dirt into the pots, and then put the pots into underneath the grow lights. So like I said, I'm going to make a bigger space in my closet where I keep my grow lights, and we're just going to start fresh. But on a brighter note, guys, look at my black eyed peas. They have actually doubled in size, and they're starting to get a ton of leaves on them. Like a really ton of leaves. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna start getting beans on them soon. Also, my Chinese red long noodle beans have doubled in size too as well, and it looks like they're gonna start sending off some runners pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to these as well. Now, sometimes, guys, gardening can be truly devastating because, like I said, you're growing a little oasis that sometimes if you're on a homestead or if you're in a desert or something like that, it is providing food for the animals that live there. And it's sad because you want to provide food for yourself, but it happens. So I want to encourage you guys not to get super down on yourselves, because just remember, there are always a ton of seeds in that packet, and you only need one seed to make yourself a plant. So until next time, guys, grow yourself a garden, because even a small space that's in the desert with all the animals looking at it like this is their yummy dinner can provide you with tons of food. Bye, guys.